And Cenat, you say you're a God-fearing man, baby. Baby, as a God-fearing man, you should know there's so much power. There's life and death in the power of the tongue. God-fearing men don't divide and conquer. Keep my name out your mouth, man. You don't know me. You never tried to get to know me. To talk to my daughter about me is crazy.
They say it's a Jay-Z quote for everything. And you know what he once said? Nobody wins when the family feuds. Now, Cenat is in a little bit of drama. Now, recently, his girlfriend, Gigi, she made a video talking about how she felt like her mother wasn't mentally and emotionally there for her. Now, the mother is responding. Her name is I am Ashlee Monroe. She is a very attractive Instagram baddie. You know, when Joe Budden is following her, you know she thick. But she is responding to her daughter saying this online. And she feels like Cenat is brainwashing her daughter against her. She even went as far as to say that Kai told her to stay away from her mother. So let's see what the mother had to say about this. We're going to get some commentary. Y'all better like the video and subscribe. Let's get it.
I am exhausted. I don't even think, since I seen the video of Gabrielle saying that she went through life, I'm sorry, but I gotta be honest. Seeing that video, I can't speak for all moms or dads. I don't want to single any, moms or dads out, but seeing that video broke me. It broke me. To say that you went through life alone, feeling alone, or that you didn't feel loved is crazy. Like, I've been a stay-at-home mom for 15 years, y'all. 15. That was so I could be there, and I was there. I haven't missed anything in that kid's life. Nothing. I can't think of nothing I've missed. I haven't slept barely in 2 days. I have been replaying my life over and over. The more I replay my life, the more proud of myself I am, actually. Like, to say you went through life alone and unloved, I don't ever want to compare my life to my child's life, because I didn't choose my life as a child, but I chose definitely to the best of my ability what hers could look like. Shit, she just had a 21st birthday party. I threw that for her. She didn't even want to. I was like, no, baby, I've been waiting on this day. Threw her big, beautiful birthday party. I invited her dad. You know what I mean? But Gabrielle's dad was never there. Yeah, but it's just like, I fought for this girl. I seen somebody in the comments say, oh, because her mama was outside chasing rich niggas and wasn't at home with her daughter. Baby, I don't gotta chase a fucking thing that I attract, okay? You don't chase what you attract. Rich niggas come dime a dozen. Always have. Even when I was that young girl, getting it out the mud, working at the casino, working at night, getting my baby to school, doing what I gotta do. Like, y'all don't know me. Don't speak on me. Get out of my comments. Get out of my DMs. I don't give a fuck. The reason I'm speaking on this is because I have never in her whole life went to the internet with my problems. I never bashed her dad. I never talked about how he never showed up to one birthday. One. Not one. It was invited to all her birthdays. He never showed up. He came to her 18th birthday party. Well, 18th birthday trip. And that is where me and her really fell out. She called herself inviting her dad on the Aspen trip that I was helping, that we were planning for her 18th birthday party. I'm like, sweetheart, I'm not going on a birthday trip with your dad. Your dad has never showed up. He ain't never been there. And mind you, a couple years prior, he called himself going to the courts and lying on me. I still won custody. Still did that. Still fought for her. And that's another problem. I fought for her. I saved her. Gabrielle was disobedient. Gabrielle was going down the wrong road. I fought for her. And your dad, all he did was enable you. Like, Gabrielle never tried the disobedient slick shit with me. She knew because I was on her. All this, you didn't feel love, girl. You knew I loved you. I ain't play with you. I ain't play about you. Never. I sent you to your dad for 3 weeks. You on the internet cutting up, doing wild shit. I tell you, when you get home, you taking that weave out your head. I'm taking that phone. I'm on your ass. I never gave up on you. I sent Gabrielle to her dad. She tripping, acting wild, disobedient. And Gabrielle, you know you don't want me to post the stuff you was doing, and I won't. And I won't. But if I did, Mr. Cenat, you will know, baby. The woman that you in love with, that's me. That's me shining through her. And by the grace of God, I thank that. But Gabrielle was tripping, and her dad was enabling her. Her dad literally went to the courts and lied on me and said I abandoned my child. When my whole text thread is, where's my kid? Where's my kid? And I'm thinking, oh my God, I gotta fight with this man who don't even show up. And when you show up, all you do is bring chaos and drama. And she's at this critical age. And all I'm doing is fighting for her to save her. And I did. I told Gabrielle, when you get home, you gonna take that weave out your head and give me that phone. Because the shit you posting on the internet is insane. Gabrielle, no, if you can't say a mama ain't love you when she ain't never give up on you. She fought for you. If I would have left her in Lake Charles, Louisiana, I guarantee you right now, she'd be somewhere pregnant for a bum. Because that's exactly where she was going. A couple months ago, my friends was over. We was here. I cooked. We had wine or whatever. She came in, and I don't know how we got on the subject of the internet. Gabrielle looked at me in front of my friends and told me, I think we need to keep our relationship off the internet. So all of y'all who in my messages saying you ain't post us and since it's this and this and that, our relationship off the internet. Then she follows up with, oh yeah, and Kai said, yeah, Mr. Cenat said, told my daughter, my baby, that he did his research on me. That he did his research on me and her best friend. Now, who her best friend is, y'all, I really don't know. I know Gabrielle friends, but who the best friend is, I don't know. But best friend, he said, you too. He said that he told my baby that if she hung out with me or her best friend, that he did his background on us. She hung out with us. It's so hard to even fucking say that her reputation would be ruined. I was just mind blown. Like, and then when I think about this, like over the past couple of days, like Cenat, all you do is sit down with women of different sorts, different kinds, different backgrounds, different reputations. All you do is sit down with rappers with different reputations. You love a sit down, but you telling me you never thought to sit down over a glass of water with me. And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to fuck with me. I never gave a fuck. But what you won't do is turn my baby against me. You got so much to say about me, but you get on the internet and say, Gabrielle is this, Gabrielle's that, Gabrielle's God-fearing. That's from me, baby. Prayed up. I pray over that girl. I pray for her. I've been telling her to go to church, and she's been going the past couple, weeks? You've been with her, a year and a half now? That's her mama. You say, oh, she could cook so good. She could clean. She this, that. That's her mama. You say she from Louisiana? No, she not. She was born there. Gabrielle's been gone from Louisiana since she was 2. I'm from Louisiana. So that Louisiana girl in the kitchen praying for you, she get that from her mama. I ain't never got on this app and bragged and said, oh my God, Kai said my daughter was this. Oh my God, I did a good job. I ain't never came to this internet for validation. My point is, Gabrielle, you ain't never went through life alone. You don't even know what that's like. The way you treat me, the way you treat your siblings, the way you treat us lately. I don't know who you are, boo. I pray whatever your little heart desire. I've always been praying for you to have the desires of your heart, and you know it. Just my birthday before last, when I had the red dress on. Yes, she's on my page with the red dress. She posted me. She came over. She cooked. She made me breakfast. She sent me to the spa. That's my baby. She posted me. She said, "Happy birthday to my rock." 6 months later, she get with this dude. I'm happy for her. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, ever since this is going on, I don't recognize her. She ain't never went to the internet and said before that she just felt alone and this, that, and the other. And now that you got this internet attention, that's what you doing? We ain't gonna do that. I don't deserve that. I don't deserve that. I was there. And I'm always standing up for myself and my babies. And Cenat, you say you're a God-fearing man, baby. Baby, as a God-fearing man, you should know there's so much power. There's life and death in the power of the tongue. God-fearing men don't divide and conquer. Keep my name out your mouth, man. Keep my name out your mouth. You don't know me. You don't know me. You never tried to get to know me. To talk to my daughter about me is crazy. You did your homework. You don't know me. If you would have did your homework, you would have knew. You would have been like, whoa. She actually a lot like her mama. Yeah. Y'all wild. Y'all crazy. You know, like I said, I'ma always go out sad or whatever y'all want to call it behind my name when it comes to me as a mom. I live for my kids. I don't get on here and beg y'all for sympathy. And please don't get in my comments and say you should talk to your daughter. I did. So when I said mean, disrespectful, rude little girl, I talked to her. She laughed at me. She said, "Oh, you big mad." Laughed at me. Laughed at me. Laughed at me. She said, "Oh, you real hurt." And laughed. Yeah, I am.
And even before I get too deep with this, I also want to say some people feel like Cenat is too, I'm trying to think of what's the word I'm looking for, but he cares too much about his image. And so maybe Kai doesn't want the mother to come around Gigi or to be around him because he doesn't like how that will reflect his image. I think Kai really tries to have this squeaky clean image. If y'all remember a while back when he had some situation with one of his friends, was being accused of something at a party, I think Kai was just, I could tell how that literally physically made him so upset. Just like when they had a little assistant for AMP and he got caught doing something weird with a girl or something like that, and they had to fire him, and I saw Kai do a whole stream. He looked like he was about to cry, but it let me know how much Kai cares about his image. And some people will say that, you know, you have nothing but your name. But even with that being said, if Kai is putting stuff in this girl's head to go against her mother, I feel like that's wrong. And I feel like sometimes when you with a girlfriend, a spouse or whatever, it's certain shit that you should stay out of. Especially with a mother and a daughter. Because I could talk for 10 minutes about what I've heard about relationships between mothers and daughters. Sometimes it can be very rocky. Especially, you know, you got all these dynamics. You know, the daughter is a little younger than the mother. Somebody's getting more attention than the other. You know, you can look at this situation. I'm sure it'll be some people who are more attracted to the mom, Ashlee Monroe, than they would be attracted to Gigi, or vice versa. So, like, when you got two attractive mother and daughter, that could be a clash too. But at the same time, that's when you know as a boyfriend or a husband or whatever, you stay out of that mix. Cause you don't know what the beef could really stem from. And to do your real research, you know, I don't know if Kai, she said Kai said he did her research. To do your real research, to me, that might take a good year or two. When you really figure out the beef between a mother and a daughter, that might take you a long time because you got to talk to family members. You got to look at old Facebook posts. You know what I'm saying? That's why you can't be so quick to say you did your research just because you might have saw a couple of pictures of Ashlee Monroe on Instagram showing her ass. Because she is a beautiful woman. She's fine. Really fine. So if Kaya's getting in the middle of that, I feel like that's wrong. And also to play devil's advocate for 1 second, look, we know what a lot of these girls would do for some clout and to be with a big celebrity. Cenat is on top of the world right now. Maybe Gigi might be saying, I'm going to stick by Cenat no matter what. And if I got to give up my mama to maintain this relationship and this, spotlight, that's what I'm going to do. So let's also not act like a little bit of that might not be taking place in this situation as well. But I also feel like it's a more important discussion we need to have. All right, now, before I give y'all my commentary, I want to know what y'all think about this comment. And this was somebody who commented on Ashlee Monroe's post when she was talking about her daughter and Cenat and all of that. She said, you missed everything she was saying, LOL. Sure, you might have done it all on your own and given her everything she wanted. Shoes, clothes, parties, vacation. But none of that could ever fill the emptiness in her heart. Of course, you're going to think you were the best mother because you were there for her physically and financially. But what about being there for her mentally and emotionally? You have no idea what she went through mentally, and neither do I. But to downplay her feelings, especially on the internet, because you feel like she played with your character and motherhood is crazy. She never said anything negative about you, never even mentioned you. That's how she felt. And at the end of the day, you getting on the internet telling everybody how much you done for her, as you should, is not going to change how she felt. And I also saw Tommy Lee, who is another, internet girl, Instagram baddie. Y'all know Tommy from Love and Hip Hop and stuff like that. She responded because Tommy, people have talked about her children on the internet as well. And Tommy said, I'm sorry, Ashlee, and I feel your pain. The internet has our children in a bubble to say things they don't really mean for clickbait or the better story. And in no way am I taking away from your daughter's experiences. She may or may not really feel that way. But mom to mom, I've been there. Head up, girl. And before I say what I'm about to say, I want to make this clear. I do think it's some women who have these type of backgrounds, Instagram models, dealing with a lot of celebrities, OnlyFans and all of that, who are probably good mothers. But we also have examples of mothers who don't realize the type of damage that they might have did to their child just with their lifestyle. I've heard some mothers say, I don't do certain things on the internet because how could I look at my child and tell her or him not to do certain stuff when I'm doing the same thing on Instagram and everywhere else? And so you see this young person right here who's saying, look, I can understand if Gigi might have went through some mental issues because her mother might have been doing other things. Now, I can't sit here and say what's true or what's not, but unfortunately, some of these women who are really attractive and they on Instagram, they're dealing with a lot of men. Tommy, for example, some people might say she's an alcoholic and has abused drugs. Sometimes you can mix all of that in. You got different men, drugs. You live in a loose lifestyle. But then those women will say, but I bought my child all of these expensive things. I bought them Gucci. I bought them Louis. I got the horse to come to the house for the birthday party. I took them on vacation. And that's cool. But when your daughter was at school going through something mentally, were you on vacation with some man for 2 weeks while she was at home with grandma? Or did you pick up and leave every time some celebrity hit you up on Instagram, but then you thought that everything was cool because you bought your child all of this stuff? It was some woman who was dealing with R. Kelly, and her daughter came out and she said, you know, look, my mama will be at R. Kelly house and she comes home and she got a new car and a whole bunch of money. And then she'll be home for a couple of days. And then next thing you know, she spent the whole summer with R. Kelly while we staying with somebody else. And I understand that some women got to put food and money on the table. But I think some of these women have to admit that that lifestyle and certain things can affect your children. Now, I don't know anything about, I am Ashlee Monroe, and I don't want to assume anything about her parenting. But I will say, I looked at her Instagram, and I'm not talking about how she looks. I saw she was with some younger children. And she looks like she's in a more stable situation now. Gigi is older. Gigi is 18. So Gigi might have saw Ashlee living a certain type of lifestyle, you know, that was a little more less stable than these younger kids see the mother now. You see what I'm saying? Because, you know, when you the older kid, you know, you done seen your parents at their worst. And then your parents get to a certain age and they more stable and they, you know, better off. And so the younger kids or your younger siblings, they get to reap all the rewards and the benefits of that. Mom is at home more. Mom isn't working as much. You know, if mom had a little drinking habit, you know, she didn't kick that. You know what I mean? Now mom is more stable. And this is not just for mothers. This is for fathers too. You know, now dad, you know, he's out of jail and he got his life together. But you as the older kid, you didn't really see that. The younger kids, they get to benefit from that. And that can be hard too. So, I think it's some things that could be going on in this situation, but I don't want to just sit here and downplay Ashlee Monroe because I don't know her lifestyle. Maybe I am assuming too much just based off of how she looks and some of the people who might be following her. But like I said, this is something that we in the industry and hip hop and all this stuff we've talked about. You know, how do these kids feel when they're raised by, you know, the dad who's a rapper or a loose athlete or the mom who's an Instagram model or OnlyFans? And I think this is kind of like what we're seeing in this situation where Gigi's like, hey, I might have got, and I saw a clip. She said she was spoiled. But being spoiled doesn't mean that you were there mentally and emotionally. So if Ashlee Monroe sees this, I apologize if you feel like I'm projecting something on you that isn't true. But I think some of the things I said can go for a lot of women who are in this industry, this celebrity industry. And I think some of the things I said could be true for somebody else if it's not true for Gigi and Ashlee, who was her mother. So y'all tell me what y'all think about this. Like the video and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.